Hey guys, Dimension Master Studios here. How y'all doing? Welcome to my 300 subscriber Q&A special. So about a week ago, my channel reached 300 subscribers on YouTube and I made a video announcing a Q&A. And in that video, I wanted you guys to ask me questions in the comments section of that video that I would then eventually answer in a future video, and this is that video. So in this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the different questions that I got in the comments section of that video, and I'm going to be answering those questions for you guys. I got my laptop right here with all the questions on them, so let's get to answering these things. Alright, so the first question that we have is, what do you think of Minipix7? Do you think she/he will be in Dragon's Rising? So, when it comes to Minipix7, I thought that she was alright during the events of Crystallized. Admittedly, I don't really have that much to say about Minipix7 because she wasn't in that many episodes of Crystallized, but still I thought she was alright, and I feel like she was one of the better new characters that we got during the season. Although, to be fair, when it came to Crystallized, I feel like Mr. F and Sally were the only other new characters that we got during the season who were good. Meanwhile, I feel like all the other new characters that we got weren't very good overall. But still, when it comes to Minipix7, I liked her during the events of the season. And as for whether or not I think she'll appear during the events of Dragon's Rising, honestly, I could see that kind of thing happening, and I would like to see an expansion on her dynamic with Pixel, but we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens. So for our next question, we have, will you make customs LEGO Ninjago characters, and will you do a room tour? I am not sure if you do one or not, but it will be fun. So, when it comes to me making custom Ninjago minifigures, this is honestly something that I do want to do. Now, if you guys remember, a while back, I made a CMF series about Ninjago, and something that I've wanted to do for a bit is essentially make a sequel to that. However, instead of making minifigures based on minifigures that we've seen in the show, but we've never gotten in the sets, something that I would legitimately like to do is make completely custom Ninjago minifigures that we have never gotten before, both in the show and in the sets. And I have a couple of different ideas as to what I would do with this. Like, for example, one minifigure that I think would be pretty interesting is us getting a future version of Cole with him appearing in the same outfit that the rest of the ninja appeared in their future visions that we saw during the events of Season 5. Or another idea that I had for a minifigure is an Anachondri version of Klaus, because we never got a chance to see Klaus as an Anachondri warrior at any point during the events of tournaments, so I think that could be something pretty cool. Plus, there's also some other ideas that I have, stuff like a ninja version of Pixel, because we haven't seen that before, and some other ideas, like, for example, I have a really interesting idea for some casual looks for Lloyd and Akita, and more. I just have a couple of different ideas for this CMF series, and I feel like it's possible that at some point in the future, I may end up making this at some point. As for the room tour, sure, I can also do that. Admittedly, I don't really have that much to show off, considering when it comes to my room, this is really all there is to show when it comes to my recording area, because for me, I'm just recording in an area down in my basement, but still I can show off what I have in my recording area for you guys. So this is the background that I have that appears in all my videos, and I have a bunch of my sets and minifigures displayed. I have more sets and minifigures than this, but I couldn't really find a spot to display them in my background, and so this is the stuff that I have displayed when it comes to my videos. So here's a close-up of stuff when it comes to my minifigures and my sets that I have. And that's really all there is to show when it comes to my recording area. Like, other than that, here is my laptop that I have where I edit all my videos on. Over here is where I have a light that appears in some of my videos. And finally, over here is where I have my tripod where I record all my videos on with my phone. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the stuff that's in my recording area. So, moving on from this, the next question that we have is, what is your favorite/least favorite season of Ninjago, and what is your favorite/least favorite episode of Ninjago? So, when it comes to my favorite season of Ninjago, that is absolutely no contest. It is the Ice chapter. I've said it before and I'll say it again, but the Ice Chapter is my personal favorite season in all of Ninjago. I really like the Ice Chapter, and there are so many things about the Ice Chapter that I feel are handled really well. And as I've been saying for the past couple of videos, I'm planning on making a full breakdown of the Ice Chapter that will be released on the 5-year anniversary of the Ice Chapter, and that's something that I really hope that you guys are looking forward to. And as for my least favorite season, that is also no contest, it would have to be Sons of Garmadon. Now, objectively, I feel like Crystallize is a much worse season considering everything that happened during that season. However, for me personally, I feel like Sons of Garmadon is a much worse season for a variety of different reasons. For starters, I feel like a majority of the characters during the season were not handled that well, both the new and returning characters. I feel like a lot of the episodes that we got during the season were either pretty boring or I thought they were just bad when it came to the season. So much of the stuff that happens during the season goes unexplained for one reason or another, and to this day we have not gotten an explanation on so many of the different things that happen when it comes to the season. I feel like when it comes to a lot of the more dark and mature aspects of the season, I feel like they aren't really handled the best during the events of the season. And finally, I've said it before and I'll say it again, but Harumi is my least favorite character in all of Ninjago. I really do not like Harumi, and she is by far my biggest issue when it comes to Season 8, but when it comes to all this stuff, I am going to be going over it more in depth when my video talking about Season 8 ends up releasing. Moving on to the episodes though, when it comes to my favorite episode in all Ninjago, that would have to be the episode The Titanium Ninja. I really like that episode. I feel like the story of the episode is really good, the music is incredible during the episode, I feel like the character work is handled really well during the episode, I feel like we get a lot of really great moments during the episode, and to this day, Zane's sacrifice is my favorite moment in all of Ninjago, because as a Zane fan, I feel like Zane's sacrifice does a really great job at representing what Zane's character is all about, and I feel like that moment does a good job of showing us just how much of a hero Zane really is, and it's something that I personally really enjoy. Now, as for my least favorite episode of Ninjago, this is something that I've never really discussed on my channel, but for me personally, when it comes to my least favorite episode, it would have to be the episode Game of Masks. I really do not like this episode, mainly because of the major problem that I have with Season 8, with that being Harumi. Now, like I said, I consider Harumi to be the worst character in all Ninjago, and I feel like when it comes to this episode, it was essentially the starting point of a lot of my major problems that I have when it comes to Harumi. For starters, this episode reveals Harumi's backstory and the reason why she hates the ninja, and in my opinion, Harumi's backstory and her hatred of the ninja doesn't make any sense at all. This episode also reveals that when it comes to Harumi, she was the one who killed the Emperor and Empress, but the show also reveals that Harumi did it for essentially no reason outside of she didn't like the Emperor and Empress, and that was essentially it. This episode also reveals Harumi's extremely hypocritical views on the ninja, with her claiming that the ninja don't do anything to protect Ninjago. Meanwhile, Harumi herself has actually done nothing in order to help out Ninjago. This episode also reveals that when it comes to Harumi, her plan is to protect Ninjago and restore it to glory, yet literally all of her actions during the events of the show results in the exact opposite thing happening. And finally, this episode was the starting point of Harumi doing whatever she could to make Lloyd suffer and her turning Lloyd's world into a living nightmare. And as I said during my video talking about why I don't like Lloyd and Harumi's relationship, this is something that I personally really do not enjoy. And so overall, like I said, when it comes to the episode Game of Masks, this is easily my least favorite episode in all of Ninjago. I really do not like this episode. Moving on, the next question that we have is, if you didn't make videos talking about Ninjago, then what would you make videos on? Also, what is your ranking of all the ninja? So, if I didn't make videos talking about Ninjago, then I feel like I would have made videos talking about video games. To be more specific though, I feel like I would make videos talking about either the Super Mario Bros. Franchise or the Xenoblade Chronicles franchise. when it comes to the Super Mario Bros. Franchise, it is without question my favorite video game franchise of all time. I love the Super Mario Bros. Franchise so much. I love so many of the games in the franchise. Super Mario Odyssey is my favorite video game of all time. And honestly, I feel like the Super Mario Bros. Franchise has had a pretty big impact on my life in a couple of different areas. And honestly, I do have a lot of stuff that I want to say when it comes to the Mario franchise, especially considering all the different games that we're getting this year for the Super Mario franchise. Stuff like the Mario vs. Donkey Kong remake that's recently been released, Princess Peach Showtime, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, and the Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door remake that's going to be coming out later this year. Again, I just have a lot of stuff that I want to say when it comes to the Super Mario Bros. Franchise. So again, I feel like if I didn't make videos talking about Ninjago, then I would have made videos talking about that. If not, then also, like I said, I feel like I probably would have made videos talking about the Xenoblade Chronicles franchise, because I am also a very, very big fan of that franchise, and yet again, I have a lot of stuff that I want to say when it comes to that franchise, especially considering what happened at the end of Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed. There are some very big implications for the future of the Xenoblade franchise, considering what happens at the very end of the game, and again, I just have a lot of stuff that I also want to say about the Xenoblade franchise. And something that I've been thinking about doing more recently is actually making a second channel where I talk about video game stuff. And let me know, would you be interested in me making that? Because if you guys are interested, then I would end up doing that. Again, please tell me down below in the comments section. But yeah, again, I feel like if I didn't make videos talking about Ninjago, then I most likely would have made videos talking about video game franchises. As for my ranking of the ninja, though, for me personally, my ranking of the ninja would have to go from worst to best: Aaron, Sora, Nia, Jay, Kai, Cole, Lloyd, and Zane. Yeah, for me personally, Aaron would have to be my least favorite ninja when it comes to the show. As I've said on a few different occasions when it comes to the channel, for me personally, when it comes to Aaron and also Sora, I'm not really the biggest fan of either one of them as characters, and personally, I'm not really that interested in either of them. And so, yeah, the two of them are definitely my least favorite ninja when it comes to the show. Meanwhile, when it comes to the original Six Ninja, personally, I really enjoy each and every one of them, and all six of them are honestly some of my favorite characters in all of Ninjago. And as I've stated on a few different occasions, Zane is my personal favorite ninja and character when it comes to the show. And also, like I said during my video that I made a while back discussing my top 10 favorite characters when it comes to Ninjago, Zane was the first ever ninja that I got in my first ever Ninjago set, the Ice Dragon Attack set that released back in 2011. And I feel like with Zane being the first ninja that I ever got when it came to Ninjago in minifigure form, I feel like that definitely played a very big role in Zane being my favorite ninja to this day. And so, yeah, that's just my ranking of the ninja. And again, for me personally, it goes Aaron, Sora, Nia, Jay, Kai, Cole, Lloyd, and Zane. For the next question we have, it is: I saw your poster of the Super Mario Bros. Movie, and I was wondering, what did you think of the movie? Okay, so this is probably going to be one of the only opportunities that I have to actually discuss the Mario movie on my channel, but for me personally, I absolutely love the Mario movie. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. For me, I saw the movie twice in theaters, and I've seen the movie 3 times with my dad, and personally, I just thought that the movie was absolutely incredible. I feel like visually, the animation is absolutely fantastic, and I feel like this is the best looking movie that Illumination has ever given us. I also really enjoyed the soundtrack of the film, and I especially really enjoy how a lot of the music is taken from the Mario franchise. I think that's absolutely really cool. I really liked the characters in the film. I feel like the Super Mario Bros. Movie ended up doing justice to just about all of the characters, and I especially really liked the characters of Mario, Peach, and Bowser. I feel like the 3 of them in particular were all handled really well during the film. I feel like all the voice actors were really good in the film, especially Jack Black as Bowser. He was absolutely perfect for that in my opinion. And finally, when it comes to the story, although it was pretty simple, personally, I don't really see that as a bad thing. To be honest with you guys, I actually sometimes prefer it when a story for anything is more simple compared to being more ambitious and somewhat convoluted at times. So again, with the Mario movie being a bit more simple when it comes to the story, personally, again, I didn't really see that as a bad thing, and I feel like that actually made me enjoy the movie more. And so again, overall, when it comes to the Super Mario Bros. Movie, I honestly really liked it. And I feel like when it comes to the Super Mario Bros. Movie, I might actually consider this to be my favorite film of all time. Yeah, in case it isn't obvious, I really liked this movie. And for the last question that we have, it is, would you consider making reaction videos or live streams? So when it comes to me doing reaction videos and live streams, this is something that I would be open to the idea of doing. Admittedly, I'm not entirely sure how well a reaction or live stream for me personally would work, mainly because for me, I just enjoy pre-recorded content rather than reactions and live streams when it comes to the stuff that goes on my channel. Mainly because with pre-recorded videos, I have more control over what actually ends up in the video, because for me personally, normally when I speak, I have a tendency to mess up at times and make mistakes while I'm talking, and I can assure you guys that when it comes to me recording this video, I have made who knows how many mistakes when it comes to me talking at different points during the video. So again, for me personally, I just prefer doing more pre-recorded stuff rather than doing live reactions. But still, when it comes to doing that kind of stuff, it's something that I would be open to doing. In fact, something that I actually had plans on doing was making a reaction to a Nintendo Direct that we got last year. However, I wasn't able to do it because the screen recorder that I had wasn't working properly at the time. Although, to be fair, I feel like it was probably a good thing that I didn't make the reaction, mainly because when it came to the actual Nintendo Direct that I was looking at, there was really only one thing that I was actually excited for when it came to the Direct, and that was the Xenoblade 3 stuff, especially the announcement for the Wave 4 DLC. That's something in particular that I was really looking forward to, but that was really the only major thing that I had a reaction to during the Direct, so I feel like the video by and large probably wouldn't have been very interesting. But again, when it comes to the idea of me doing reaction videos or live streaming, again, it's something that I'm open to the idea of doing. And if you guys do want to see me make reaction videos or live streaming at some point, this is something that I could potentially do for you guys. Again, if you guys want to see it. And so that's pretty much all I got for you guys. And for starters, I just want to say thank you all so much for everyone who asked me questions in the comments section of the video. And more importantly though, I just want to say thank you to all you guys so much. I honestly can't believe that this channel is at 300 subscribers. This genuinely means so much to me. And again, I cannot thank you guys enough for getting me up to this milestone. I've got a lot more plans for future videos that I'm going to be releasing later on during this year and later on in the future, so I really hope that you guys are looking forward to that stuff. Now, as for my 400 subscriber special, I'm probably going to be doing something different from a Q&A video, but I will probably end up doing another Q&A video at some point in the future, but it's probably gonna be a bit until that happens, but I will do another one at some point in the future. So if your question didn't appear in this video, then who knows, at some point in the future, I might end up answering your question. We're just gonna have to wait and see. And so that's pretty much all I got for you guys. Later guys, this is Dimension Master Studios, signing off.